Many people know I love British history. We haven't had a wave. Sorry, how are you? Sorry. No, we'll be a bit more gentle. It's a bit earlier. No, well, you might be going to bed. You've got to be careful. You don't want to exert things, do you? You don't want to wake yourself up. Is it, well, what do you mean this could put anybody to sleep? Yes, I can, I can imagine, actually. But on a serious note, as everybody knows, I love British history. It was one of the things, I don't know if you were like this at school, it was the one topic that I really got interested in. And it was all to do with the fact that I remember getting a book from school all about the press gangs of, that particular era. Where, do you know about the press gangs? Where they would literally force you onto Royal Navy ships because they were short of people. So they were just going to bars and wait for you to be drunk. Suddenly you'd end up in a ship halfway, say, to Australia or something like that because they needed the staff. Not a bad idea now, is it? But it's fascinating to think that when we look at British history, and I try and show as much as I can, as you know, when I'm out and about, I look at statues and these great people that have gone before us that did so much. And they're so lucky to be remembered in statue form, because whatever people think, people forget very quickly about what so many people did. Let's not forget the lady with the lamp, Florence Nightingale. What a terrific woman she was, whether you like them or not. Madame Tussauds, she created something that's lasted so long. There are so many things, aren't there? John Logie Baird, with television. We should look at our history and cherish it. That's the thing. But how affordable is history now? And it was fascinating, really, because this was highlighted to me by a colleague who literally went with his partner the other day to see none other than the Tower of London. Now, I don't know if you've been round the Tower of London. It is an incredible place, full of the ravens, the beefeaters. I've been lucky enough to meet a few of the beefeaters and interview them, and they live on site. I find that fascinating, yes. What a great place to live, but also very spooky, don't you think? Very spooky, yes. Imagine the ghosts round there. Now, what's more fascinating is the fact that the cost of these things. An adult ticket was around about £34.95. So for him, that's virtually £70, plus of course maybe a snack, a coffee or something like that, and a few mementos. A very expensive day out. But it costs a lot to run it, I hear you say. Absolutely. But now, if you're on universal credit, or indeed an illegal migrant coming here to the United Kingdom, well, you can go around there for just £1. Now, my argument is this. There's 2 points there. They've had to increase a lot of security, whether they agree with it or not, simply because they're very concerned about people trying to steal objects. We're not talking the crown jewels, but you get the picture. But the other side of it is, yes, I understand that if you find yourself without a job and you've hard worked and you're just between jobs, you want a bit of a cultural enrichment. I get all of that. It's worth it for £1. But the long term, literally, it should have a sort of remit on it of 3 to 6 months. If you can carry on going back there and back there, what's the incentive for hard workers? As this colleague pointed out to me, it would be now a once-in-a-lifetime experience because we simply couldn't afford to go back. And when you look at the list of things that are available, particularly to those illegals that just barge in and literally take over the country and then have the benefits of everything that you and I have to work hard for, is it right? Are we, workers, being squeezed out of history? Truly, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story, because it left him very much shell-shocked, and I had no idea of the cost. I mean, genuinely, I just hadn't been for so long. Naturally, as one can imagine, for those that know this channel well, I tend to go to the museums that are free. But would you pay £34.95 per person to go into the Tower of London, knowing that the person or persons next to you are simply funding it for £1? Either way, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story. Please like and share and comment respectfully. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.